Day 19. Building confidence through action. Confidence is one of the most misunderstood qualities in personal development. Many people spend years waiting for it to arrive. They assume that confidence is something a person either possesses or lacks, almost like a personality trait assigned at birth. As a result, they often delay important decisions and opportunities while hoping that, at some point in the future, they will finally feel ready. The problem with this approach is that confidence rarely appears before action. In most cases, it develops because of action. This may seem like a small distinction, but it changes the entire way we think about personal growth. When people imagine confident individuals, they often focus on what is visible. They see someone speaking comfortably in front of a group, leading a team, starting a business, expressing their opinions clearly, or pursuing ambitious goals without hesitation. What they do not see are the countless moments of uncertainty that usually came before those abilities were developed. Confidence tends to create an illusion. Once a person becomes skilled in a particular area, their confidence appears natural, as though it has always been there. The years of learning, mistakes, self-doubt, and gradual improvement become invisible. Consider someone who speaks confidently in public. It is easy to assume that they were simply born with that ability. In reality, many confident speakers began exactly where everyone else begins, feeling nervous, uncomfortable, and uncertain. Their confidence was not the starting point. It was the result of repeated exposure to situations that initially felt intimidating. The same pattern appears in almost every area of life. People become confident in managing money by making financial decisions and learning from them. They become confident in relationships by navigating the challenges that relationships inevitably present. They become confident in business by solving problems, making mistakes, and gradually developing experience. Experience creates familiarity. Familiarity reduces uncertainty. Reduced uncertainty often feels like confidence. Unfortunately, many people reverse this process in their minds. They believe they must first become confident before taking action. As a result, they remain trapped in a cycle of preparation and hesitation. They wait for certainty before beginning, not realizing that certainty is often the reward for beginning. This misunderstanding explains why confidence is frequently lower in areas where a person has little experience. The lack of confidence is not necessarily evidence of incapability. More often, it is evidence of unfamiliarity. Imagine being asked to perform a task you have never attempted before. Some degree of uncertainty would be entirely natural. The uncertainty does not mean you are incapable of learning the task. It simply reflects the fact that your mind has not yet collected enough evidence to feel comfortable. Yet many people interpret that uncertainty incorrectly. Instead of seeing it as a normal part of growth, they view it as a warning sign. They conclude that because they do not feel confident, they should wait. The waiting continues, experience never arrives, and confidence remains undeveloped. In this way, the absence of confidence becomes self-perpetuating. The individual avoids action because they lack confidence, and they continue lacking confidence because they avoid action. Breaking this cycle requires a different relationship with discomfort. One of the most valuable realizations a person can have is that confidence and uncertainty are not opposites. In fact, they often coexist. Think back to a period in your life when you learned something new. Perhaps it was driving, starting a new job, learning a language, or developing a professional skill. During the early stages, uncertainty was unavoidable. Mistakes were common. Progress felt slow. Yet with time and repetition, the activity became easier. What changed? In most cases, your abilities improved. But something else happened as well. You accumulated evidence. Each successful experience, no matter how small, provided proof that you were capable of handling the challenge. Gradually, the mind stopped viewing the situation as unfamiliar and began viewing it as manageable. Confidence is often built through this accumulation of evidence. This idea is important because it shifts the focus away from feelings and toward behavior. Many people spend enormous amounts of energy trying to feel more confident. They analyze their doubts, search for motivational content, compare themselves to others, and wait for their mindset to improve. While reflection has value, confidence rarely grows through reflection alone. It grows when action provides evidence that challenges old assumptions. A person who believes they are incapable of speaking in front of others begins to question that belief after successfully speaking once. The individual who doubts their ability to start a business begins to see themselves differently after acquiring their first customer. The person who believes they are not disciplined begins to reconsider that identity after repeatedly following through on commitments. The evidence matters because the human mind learns through experience more readily than through theory. You can read about confidence for years and still feel uncertain. A single meaningful experience can sometimes change your perspective more than months of analysis. There is another aspect of confidence that deserves attention. Many people assume that confident individuals are free from fear. This assumption creates unrealistic expectations because it encourages people to believe they are doing something wrong whenever fear appears. In reality, fear is often present even among highly confident people. The difference is not that they never experience fear. The difference is that they have learned not to interpret fear as a signal to stop. An experienced entrepreneur may still feel nervous before making a major decision. A skilled speaker may still feel tension before addressing a large audience. A successful athlete may still experience anxiety before an important competition. Confidence does not eliminate these emotions. What confidence often provides is trust. Trust in one's ability to adapt. Trust in one's ability to learn. Trust in one's ability to recover if things do not go according to plan. This form of confidence is more durable because it is not based on perfect outcomes. It is based on the belief that challenges can be handled when they arise. As we have discussed throughout this book, identity plays an important role in this process. Every action you take contributes to the story you tell yourself about who you are. Each time you avoid a challenge, you strengthen one type of narrative. Each time you face a challenge despite uncertainty, you strengthen another. Over time, these experiences accumulate. The person who repeatedly acts despite discomfort gradually develops a different self-image. They begin seeing themselves as someone who can handle difficult situations. They stop expecting confidence to appear before action and start understanding that action itself is often the source of confidence. This shift may seem subtle, but it changes everything. Instead of asking, "How can I become confident enough to begin?" the question becomes, "What action can I take that will help me build confidence?" The first question encourages waiting. The second encourages growth. As you continue your journey, remember that confidence is not something that suddenly arrives one morning and remains with you forever. It is built gradually through experience, strengthened through action, and maintained through continued engagement with challenges that matter. The goal is not to eliminate uncertainty from your life. The goal is to develop enough trust in yourself that uncertainty no longer prevents you from moving forward. Because in the end, confidence is rarely the cause of action. More often, it is the result of it. Reflection questions. 1. In which area of your life would greater confidence make the biggest difference? 2. Are you waiting to feel confident before taking action? 3. What experiences from your past have helped build your confidence? 4. How do you typically respond to uncertainty? 5. What small action could provide evidence that you are more capable than you currently believe? Daily action step. Choose one activity you have been avoiding because of self-doubt or lack of confidence. Instead of focusing on the outcome, focus on gaining experience. Take one small action that moves you forward and pay attention to what you learn from the process. Success affirmation. I build confidence through action and experience. I trust my ability to learn, adapt, and grow. Every step forward strengthens my belief in what I am capable of becoming.